In Red Fork Township, people had stopped calling the Kelsey South Meadow farmland. They called it the brick pan. 9 summers without a crop had baked the clay so hard that rain slid off it like water off a roof. 2 tractors had sunk there during the wet spring that ruined Mark Kelsey's back. After that, the family quit fighting it. The meadow sat behind the dairy barn, flat and sun-whitened, with thistle at the edges and cracks wide enough to lose a pocket knife. Then, on the hottest Monday of August, 14-year-old June Kelsey walked into that dead meadow with a rusted apple corer, knelt beside a strip of dust nobody watered, and pressed her cheek almost to the ground. She stayed there long enough for the crows to settle back on the fence. Then she stood up and said, very quietly, "This ground is breathing." By noon, every farmer on Mill Road was watching her dig. Not because the hole was impressive, because the place she chose made no sense. June was not digging in the low swale where water collected after storms. She was not near the old ditch. She was not following the slope. She was 20 yards uphill from all of that, in a pale patch of clay that looked drier than bone. Earl Bassett, who owned the hayground next door, leaned on the gate with his coffee in one hand and laughed through his nose. "Girl," he called, "if that field had anything left in it, your daddy would found it with a plow." June looked up, nodded once, and kept turning the corer. That became the part people repeated later. She never argued. Not with Earl. Not with the men at the feed store. Not with her uncle, who said the meadow ought to be leased for gravel storage before it cost the family another season. Every afternoon, after chores, June went back with orange survey flags, a hand trowel, and a notebook she kept wrapped in a bread sack. She pushed the flags into the ground in a loose curve, then changed the curve the next day, then changed it again. From the road, it looked like a child guessing. From June's notebook, it was anything but. That summer had been dry enough to turn the creek to a chain of puddles. But June had noticed something nobody else had bothered to notice. At sunrise, the brick pan gave off no mist, except for one crooked ribbon that shimmered across the upper half of the meadow and disappeared before breakfast. The grass there was not greener, exactly. It was darker at the base, cooler to the hand. When she drove the apple corer down 6 inches, the plug came up with a smell that did not belong in dead clay. Sweet, mossy, alive. June had found the first clue in a cardboard box above the milk room. Her great-grandmother Ada had kept orchard books in dime store ledgers, and most of them were ordinary farm records. Peaches picked, rye planted, hogs sold, rainfall written in careful pencil. But one page from 1936 was different. Ada had drawn the South Meadow before it was a meadow, back when it was a young pear orchard. Across the drawing, she had marked a curved line and written 3 words beside it. The cool vein. No explanation, just that. The cool vein. June could not let it go. She took soil from the low swale, the fence line, and the place where the morning shimmer appeared. Her agriculture teacher helped her mail the samples to the county lab. The report came back 2 weeks later. The low swale tested tired and compacted. The fence line was worse. But the dry-looking strip in the upper meadow carried nearly twice the organic matter and far more biological activity than the rest of the field. It held moisture deep down, even when the surface looked dead. That should not have been possible. Not there. Not above the swale. Not after 9 abandoned summers. So June began digging along the invisible curve. The more she dug, the more the adults grew uncomfortable. At first, they laughed because she was wrong. Then they watched because she would not stop being wrong in the same exact way. Mark Kelsey watched from the barn door with a folded bank letter in his shirt pocket. The farm had made it through bad milk prices, a feed bill that doubled in 3 years, and the medical debt from the accident. But the South Meadow was starting to look less like land and more like a burden. A man from the county road crew had already offered to rent it as a staging lot. Gravel, culverts, parked machines. Money the Kelseys could use. Mark had not signed, but he had not thrown the paper away either. That was the real pressure around June's little flags. Not embarrassment. Time. Every day she spent chasing a buried hunch was another day her father had to decide whether dead ground was worth defending. Then the storm came. It broke open on a Thursday evening, hard and sudden, hammering the barn roof and turning the yard black with runoff. By morning, the low swale was standing water again. The men at the gate said that proved it. The field was ruined the way everyone remembered. Water went where it had always gone, and June's curve sat above it, useless. June walked out anyway. Her boots sank near the swale, but when she reached the flagged line, she stopped. The surface there was firm, not dry, firm. She knelt, pushed her fingers into the clay, and felt cold moisture rising from beneath, as if the storm had awakened something under the crust instead of drowning it from above. She dug until the trowel hit something that rang. Not root, not rock, a clean hollow knock. June froze. Then she scraped with her fingers, inch by inch, until a curved lip appeared in the mud. Red clay, fired smooth, man-made. She ran for the barn so fast she left one boot in the field. By the time Mark reached the hole, June was already on her knees again, clearing around the object with both hands. It was a half-round tile, shaped like a narrow tunnel, capped by another piece that had cracked under years of pressure. The edges were worn but even. The pieces had been laid together, not dumped. Mark stared at it a long time. He had grown up on that farm. His father had grown up there, too. No one had ever told him there was tile in the South Meadow. Earl Bassett came down before lunch. So did Ruth Packer from the extension office. Because June's ag teacher had called her before Mark could talk himself out of it. Ruth stood over the open tile line, took one look at the angle, and stopped smiling. "This isn't field tile," she said. Earl frowned. "Looks like tile to me." "It is tile," Ruth said, "but not for draining that swale." She lifted her eyes toward the hill above the pasture, where a tangle of blackberry cane hid a rocky shelf nobody had cleared in years. This was built to catch water before it ever reached the field. That was when Ada's old words began to make sense. The cool vein was not a poetic name. It was a map. Over the next 11 days, June, Mark, Ruth, and half the neighbors who had doubted her traced the buried line across the meadow. It did not run straight. It bent with the land. It climbed where a pipe should not climb, then dropped by inches so slight a person could stand over it and see nothing. At 22 inches down, they found more fired clay arches. At 30 feet, they found a bed of river gravel wrapped around the tile. At the upper end, under the blackberry shelf, they uncovered an old spring box made from oak boards, black with age but still holding its shape in the wet earth. A blind spring gallery. That was what Ruth called it. Long before plastic pipe, laser levels, and diesel pumps, someone had built a quiet machine underground. The spring seeped from the hillside into the box. The gravel filtered it. The tile carried it along the upper meadow, not fast enough to flood, not shallow enough to vanish in August, but slow and steady enough to keep orchard roots alive through hard summers. It was not a miracle. It was patience turned into engineering. And Ada Kelsey, with a pencil ledger and a shovel crew no one remembered, had known the farm's water better than the men who later tried to overpower it. But finding the line was not the same as saving the meadow. The tiles were choked with silt. 2 sections had collapsed. Tree roots had crossed one joint like a fist. When they opened the spring box, the water inside was only a dark, trembling skin over mud. Earl shook his head at that. Looks like your treasure dried up, June. For the first time, June answered him without looking away from the hole. No, it's blocked. That evening, Mark unfolded the rental paper at the kitchen table. He did not say he was signing it. He did not say he was not. The paper lay between him and June beside a plate of cold biscuits, and for a while the only sound in the room was the refrigerator kicking on. Finally, Mark said, "Your great-grandmother had more years to figure this place out than we have money." June looked at Ada's ledger, open to the faded map. Then she said, "She didn't have more water than us. She just knew where to ask." That was the line that made Mark fold the rental paper and put it in the stove. The next morning they worked like the field had been waiting for them. They lifted the broken caps, flushed silt from the tile, cut roots by hand, and packed washed gravel around the repaired sections. Earl brought a trench shield without being asked. Ruth brought a measuring rod. June brought the ledger, wrapped in its bread sack, and kept checking the old curve against the land in front of her. On the fourth day, they opened the spring box fully. For a moment, nothing happened. Then a bubble rose through the black mud. Then another. Then the spring took a breath. Cold water slipped through the gravel bed and entered the tile with a sound so small that everyone leaned closer to hear it. It did not gush. It did not perform. It simply moved, down the hidden curve, under the brick pan, toward the place the old pear trees had once survived the drought years. 20 minutes later, the lower opening darkened. A crescent of clay turned from gray to brown, then brown to almost black. Earthworms, pale and startled, twisted up through soil that people had called dead for nearly a decade. Earl Bassett took off his cap. Mark did not say anything. He crouched beside June, put one hand flat on the ground the way she had done on that first morning, and closed his eyes. By October, the South Meadow was no longer being treated like a failure. It was being treated like a patient. They did not plant corn into it right away. Ruth would not let them. June would not either. They seeded cereal rye, crimson clover, and daikon radish, plants chosen not for a quick harvest but for repair. Roots to open the clay, clover to feed the living soil, rye to hold the surface when winter rain came hard. The first green haze appeared after 6 days. By November, the brick pan had a skin of life over it. By spring, the radish roots had punched pale tunnels through the compacted layer, and the tile line was feeding the upper meadow with the slow discipline Ada had designed into it. The field did not become easy. No real field does, but it became possible. That summer, Mark planted a small test strip of sorghum where the ground had once split open. The yield was not county fair news. It was better than that. It was steady, honest, repeatable proof. A strip of land everyone had written off carried a crop again, because a 14-year-old girl had trusted a cool patch of dirt over a county full of certainty. When the extension office asked June to speak at the winter soil meeting, she stood in front of men who had farmed longer than her father had been alive. She did not give a grand speech. She held up Ada's ledger in one hand and a broken piece of red tile in the other. Then she said, "I thought the tile was the secret." She looked down at the clay still caught inside the curve of it. It wasn't. The room grew still. The secret was that she watched the land long enough to know what it was trying to do. That was all. But it stayed with people. Because the South Meadow had not been rescued by luck, or machinery, or one dramatic discovery. It had been rescued by attention, by a girl who noticed mist where there should have been none, by an old woman's pencil line, by a spring that had never quit, only lost its path. There are farms that fail because the land gives up, and there are farms that look dead because people forget how to listen. The Kelsey South Meadow was the second kind. It had not been dead. It had simply been waiting for someone quiet enough to hear it breathe.